Hey everybody, welcome to Always Bored, Never Boring. Today, I am struggling. I like to try and be positive in my videos, and I'm going to try my best to be positive in this video, but unfortunately, I'm not feeling very positive. Because today we're going to be talking about this book, the exclusive Silver Templars book, which came with my subscription of Warhammer 40,000 Conquest magazine. Now, for anybody who doesn't know, Warhammer 40,000 Conquest magazine is a Partworks publication from Hatchet Publishing in association with Games Workshop. It's weekly. I get bundles once a month in sets of 4. And every now and again, as a subscriber, you get automatically subscribe to an additional purchase. Now, I'm not going to complain about this purchase because I was well aware of it. I knew it was coming. There was an email last month to warn of it, and there was also a letter included with last month's batch of magazines, both saying that I had automatically been allocated one of these limited edition source books, and if I didn't want it, I had to contact them and say so. Now, having to contact the company, it's a bit annoying that you are opted in and have to go out of your way to opt out, but I'm not complaining about that because in previous times there has not been that level of notification, and I have ended up being charged for things I did not know I was getting. This I was fully aware I was getting for the benefit of the channel. And here it is, and as soon as I received it, I had that sinking feeling, you know, that feeling when you order something and it comes through the post and you open it and you know you've been had a little bit. Because this book, they charged £20 for it, £19.99, and they advertised it as a limited edition source book. Obviously, being limited edition, that makes it quite an appealing prospect. It is for the Silver Templars. The Silver Templars have pretty much been invented for Warhammer 40,000 Conquest magazine. They did not exist previously. They are a successor chapter of the Ultramarines, and they comprise entirely of Primaris units. There's no regular Space Marines in their ranks at all. So I wanted to get it to show it off on the channel, and yeah, it came, and I realise now that they very specifically referred to it as a source book and not a codex, because anybody who was expecting a codex is going to be as disappointed as I am. For a start, if I hold the book thus, you can see quite how thin it is. This, remember, is a £20 book, and it has exactly 48 pages. That's less than I was expecting. Now, I'm not going to lie, it is beautifully bound. Hatchet, they know what they're doing when it comes to making books. It's got a little bookmark, it's a fabric integrated bookmark, which kind of almost adds to the deception, because you don't really need that. It's not a big enough book to require that. And there's nothing in here that you would need to bookmark for return reference, really. I have taken off the shrink wrap. I have taken a quick look inside, but I haven't read the fluff and things like that, so I don't know the quality of that. I'm just going to talk about why I am not best pleased with my purchase. And yeah, like I say, they use the term sourcebook, not codex, because this is most definitely not a codex. You get your regular sort of standard fluff stuff. There's obviously some very nice artwork. Games Workshop artwork is always top notch. And then we're into sort of the background of what the Silver Templars are, and they are a successor chapter of the Ultramarines, like I say. It's a little bit unusual that this book has been included with the Warhammer 40,000 Conquest subscription magazine, because that magazine deals with Ultramarines and Death Guard, and now suddenly we've got this book for a successor chapter. And if you've been using the painting guides that are in the magazine every week for the last however many weeks it's been, many weeks, then suddenly to get this Silver Templars chapter, which is different color scheme. It's a different color scheme, so anything you've painted up till now isn't going to look right if you suddenly decide to switch to Silver Templars. So that's a little bit odd in itself. But yeah, there's some background stuff and talk of this strategic disposition. You've got some of this stuff. This stuff is quite useful if you decide you did want to go with this colour scheme. This is the kind of reference point you want. It's got stars for the different suits of armour, and obviously the different shoulder pads, insignias and helmet colours. All that good stuff that if you're a painter and you want to actually put detachments of Silver Templars on the table, this is the page you need. So that's good. I've got no complaints with that. More maps and things. And the Annals of War, where it claims that the Silver Templars have been involved in a wide range of conflicts and have racked up quite a kill list, despite the fact they have rarely been mentioned prior to this book. Again, more artwork, really nice artwork, which I don't really think we need to go on about. It's to be expected. Like I say, I haven't read this background fluff. I've literally opened this book just a few moments ago, and this is my initial take, my initial impressions. So I can't really give you much insight into what this is all about. We're into Templars of Legend, and we've got some named heroes, which is interesting. Again, it's just fluff. There's no rules for those named heroes. There's no special character data sheets. And in fact, you will soon realize there are no data sheets in this book at all, because it's not a codex. A little bit about the chapter command. Talk of the battle line, the various different elements of the battle line: close support, fire support, vehicles. Sorry for any glare coming off of the book there. And then we've got some cool stuff with some miniatures painted in the colour schemes. Again, this is useful reference materials for painters. They've got quite a bunch of the chaps there. Very nice. Different units painted up. It's actually quite a nice colour scheme. Nice simple colour scheme. It's predominantly silver with some yellow and a bit of red. So I can't imagine it being very difficult to achieve, and would look quite nice and sparkly on the tabletop. It's always nice to see really nicely painted miniatures in these various different dioramas and involved in conflicts and things like that. I do approve of that. I often spend quite a bit of time just looking at photographs of painted miniatures. More of the same. There's a lot of silver on the grav tank. Makes it look very boxy. And then here we are at the duel. Now this is a piece of fiction. And it's a piece of fiction that they're obviously very proud of, because in the letter to announce that this book was being included with my next batch, they made a point of saying that it included an all-new short story following the exploits of a squad of Silver Templar Space Marines as they battle the treacherous Black Legion. Thought that sounds exciting, like a little bit of bedtime reading. This will be good. And here it is, Duel, beginning on page 47 of the 48-page book. That's ridiculous. And that is a jip, and that didn't even bear mention in the advertising spiel for this book. That's disgusting in my mind. And yeah, I don't often feel that strongly about how the way things are advertised and things like that. I tend to take things on the chin a little bit. But yeah, if you've advertised that there's a new piece of short fiction, I really do expect more than what someone doodled on the back of a beer mat at the pub. But that is it. That's the entirety of the book, and it is indeed a source book. It's got background fluff, it's got some color schemes, and it's got a 2-page short story, and that is it. If you're expecting data sheets, you won't get them. If you're expecting special army abilities, you won't get them. If you're expecting lists of special war gear for the units, you won't get them. If you're expecting points lists so that you can do match point games with your Silver Templars, you won't get them. If you're expecting some stratagems or anything like that, or special abilities for commanders, or some tactical objectives, or special missions, special narrative missions, you won't get them. There is nothing like that in this book. There are no rules of any kind. It is very specifically, as they said, but as I didn't fully appreciate, it is a source book. And I am very disappointed for the money that I paid for that. Again, it's nicely presented. The artwork is all very nice. I'm sure the little piece of fiction is going to be very nicely written. I'm sure the background fluff is going to be, you know, acceptable background fluff, the kind of which we have seen in every issue of the magazine to date. And indeed, this does feel a little bit like they have just whacked a hard cover on an extra issue of the magazine. Only they took out the fun bits like the extra missions and the painting guides. I mean, there's not even painting guides in there. It's a special chapter with a new color scheme, and they've not included painting guides to how to achieve. It says, you know, you can look at the heraldry of the chapter and recreate the painting on your own miniatures, but it doesn't tell you how. It doesn't give you any rules for fielding this type of Space Marine army on the battlefield. And you can say, well, they're just field them like Ultramarines, but then why bother? What was the point? Okay, yeah, I'm being negative. I'm maybe more negative than I should be. What do other people think? Has anybody else purchased this book and actually been very happy with their purchase? I would be interested to know. Maybe I am being too harsh, and I'm always open to hear some alternative opinions. That is interesting to me. But really, this is all I've got to say on the matter. Not my finest purchase, not my finest hour, not my finest video. I wish I could be more upbeat and positive about it. We'll start off by saying this. The 4 magazines that came in this month's bundle with this book, they're really good. They're really good magazines. I've not opened them up and actually looked at the magazines themselves, so the content might be off because I only ever open them on camera and look at the contents on camera. But in terms of product on the cover of the magazines, I'm very happy with those. There's some good stuff there. So, a bit of rough with a bit of smooth. Anybody who is subscribing in another territory and hasn't got to this stage of the subscription yet, I hope you find this video useful and you can make an informed purchase, a more informed purchase than I was able to make. Maybe I'm just silly. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thank you for listening to me have a mild rant. It's not my usual style. I don't like to rant, but thank you anyway. And I do hope you will come and see me again soon in another video when hopefully I will be my normal chirpy, upbeat self. Thank you very much, everybody. Bye-bye.